What is up, Googans? On a
What's
Freaky
up?
Filter Friday, it's after the drill.
After the drill.
Glad to have you. It's Friday. It's
What is
tournament
that
Friday.
thing in front of me?
I don't know, Dan.
Is that staying on? Like, or is that in front of me
I'm not
for
sure
the
what
folks
that
at
is.
home? Or
That's weird.
Here I am.
Hello, here's Dan. Hello, Googans. It's Friday. It's tournament Friday here on After the Drill. Dan and I currently sitting at 11-5, tied for third
Tip of the cap.
in the March Madness contest here between Team Drill. Jeff and Taylor both 14-2 yesterday, so they hold a slim lead after the first day of action.
Oh, God.
I should be considered last place because although you lost games, I don't think you lost any of your Sweet 16. I had Nevada in the Sweet 16, so that one hurts for me.
Ouch.
Personally, on a personal level, obviously you wouldn't pick against your Gators, so that doesn't affect you.
What's my hat say?
I don't know. It's backwards. Instead.
Okay.
Interesting. What a weird filter.
Thank you, friend. I think it's a good one, too.
That's my love.
Oh, what's up, man? A lot of things going on.
That's my MIL right there.
We had fun yesterday hanging out at the hoops.
Yeah, we had a good time up in the back of 104 if you're looking for us.
Yeah.
We let the cat out of the bag. Prosser did.
Are we headed back there?
Media Ox seating. Well, not me.
Yeah.
I'll be out of town this weekend, so I won't
Okay.
be there.
All right.
But if you
I
boys
might go tomorrow.
Yeah?
'Cause
If I was in town, I would have gone.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it, and it's so I might head over there tomorrow.
So if you're going tomorrow, Googans,
I take my kid.
or if you don't have tickets, tomorrow everything gets underway noonish, like 12:10 is first tip.
Yeah.
For the early game, which is the Maryland LSU game. 2:40 tip for Kentucky Wofford.
If you're the host venue, do you
Right.
prefer noon and 2, or would you rather have the nightcap 7 and 9 type thing?
Well, if the venue, I think you'd rather have the nightcap.
Because there's more activity
I think there's more activity
throughout the day.
If you're us, I like the noon too.
I
Because
love
then you go
noon.
home and watch the night games
Yeah.
on TV. But if you're a fan who doesn't have tickets, you just want to go watch the hoops, Saturday's always a good shot because, like we said this morning, the teams that lost yesterday,
Right.
they're shipping it. They're bailing on their tickets.
Right.
So there are tickets to be got for the Saturday action if you want to go down and catch a couple good basketball games. We had chalk, so it's all the highest remaining seeds will be in action tomorrow down at the arena. So that's
I like
fun. Kentucky looked real good against Abilene Christian. Not exactly like the biggest test for them, obviously, but Kentucky looked good.
Didn't have their best player either.
That dude from Wofford set the NCAA's all-time threes mark
That's cool.
In the win, so that was cool. LSU is the biggest, most physical, dumb team I think I've ever seen play basketball. They
Okay.
make a lot of dumb mistakes, but they are so big and physical that they overcome a lot of it.
They're talented.
They're very impressive. I'm not sure how that team lost to Florida twice, but they did. And of course, LSU plays Maryland, who beat Belmont. Belmont was sort of everybody's darling at the arena.
They lost to Florida twice because of the gritty, gutty Gators.
That's fair. Belmont seemed like outside of the people in the Terp section in the lower bowl, outside of that batch of red people,
Yeah, we wanted Belmont.
everybody else wanted Belmont.
Sorry,
It was
Maryland.
a very pro-Belmont crowd. Of course, the loudest ovation throughout the day session down there was the chorus of boos that came in when they left the Auburn New Mexico State game
Yeah.
right before the final possession. If you haven't been down during the breaks in the games, timeouts, halftime, etc., they put up whatever games are going on the big board. And man, people just were so into the Auburn game because it was so tight, and Auburn was doing everything they could to let New Mexico State steal that game. And they couldn't get it done. Auburn ended up winning, but we were watching it. We watched the guy miss the 3 free throws. Then we saw it get knocked out of bounds, and it was going to be New Mexico State ball. They were going to get a shot to win, and then the horn sounds, and everybody comes back out. They cut back to our game, and boo!
Boo!
Very upset people.
What about Sideways guy?
Sideways guy was very drunk, Dan. In fact, he was moments away from this number. Right there in our section.
He
was
probably
sitting right
did
next to
that
us.
when he left.
He was very vulgar and very loud, and a little fat and kind of slovenly looking.
But it wouldn't have been a pretty sight in there for us had there been any
If he
kind
involved
of...
it.
No, if it had gotten to a physical altercation.
Yeah, no, we would have ganged up on him. It would have been 3-on-2. So I
Yeah.
feel like we could have taken him.
Maybe.
Maybe, because they're young men and they looked. He was definitely this was a hoss. He was a strapping hoss of a man.
Yeah.
He would have, like, one-on-one, he would beat the holy hell out of any one of us.
Would have been a good viral sensation, though.
Oh, my goodness. That's probably what I would have done, is what I would let you
pulled
guys...
out the phone
I would have
and
let you guys start a
smoked.
fight thinking it's going to be 3-on-2, then I would just stand back and film it, and at some point I would yell World Star, and then I'd post it online and go viral.
Damn.
That would be my game plan.
Yeah.
Because I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Mm.
What else we got?
We've got good
Hoops, Hoops,
weekend
and
coming
Mornings.
up. It's Super Sweet Friday.
Sweet Friday. We love Fridays.
We had a lot of good
especially
music
March Madness
today.
Friday. Great music. I'll be going down to watch some live music on Sunday night.
We had a poll question brought to you, presented by Lock
Yes,
Lock
Jaguar
Defense.
wins.
8-12 is the overwhelming choice.
8-12 was the winner.
Yeah, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12.
Which is a pretty,
It's
covers a
wide.
wide berth
Yeah.
of
Because
opinions.
8 and 8 versus 12 and 4 is a big
Right.
difference.
And there's a lot of people that sort of feel both ways.
Right,
That,
right.
Foles is enough to bring them back to the median,
Uh-huh.
and some people
Oh,
feel like
I'm so
the defense
tired,
is still
Beef.
real good, that they can...
Man,
Were you out with Mr. 10, a.k.a. Charlton,
me and Charlton did not
doing
party.
the Wofford party circuit after their big win
Did
last
not
night?
party.
If you missed that on the show today, Mr. 10 contacted us. Of course, you know Mr. 10, he's a longtime Guggen. He's a graduate of Wofford,
Mhm.
and so with Wofford in town, he got himself some tickets and got just absolutely schnocker drunk watching the Wofford Terriers win their game over Seton Hall as they were the late game. They were the 9:40 tip. So
I'd like to thank Big Blue
Deep into the
Nation
night.
for their hospitality while I was at the Big Blue Nation party.
let me ask you this, because you talked about...
Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm revealing a conversation. I don't think it was a break conversation. It was
Mm.
check. But you guys were talking about how, SEC fans, the hatred isn't as real in basketball fandom
Right.
as it is in football fandom.
Right.
I saw a guy walking through the arena. He was wearing a jersey.
Right.
Clearly he's a house divided type guy, or he's a man divided, because he was wearing a basketball jersey that was one of those two jerseys sewn together.
Okay.
It was half Florida, half Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Can you do that? Can you be a fan of both Florida and Kentucky in basketball?
Basketball, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you got to root for one or the other when they play, obviously.
Right. I didn't stop to talk to the guy to find out who he roots for.
I'm not big on rooting for SEC brethren. I'm the guy who,
Right.
like, when in the bowl games, I don't care. If they win, I'll brag about it.
Right.
But usually I'm pulling against them, to be honest with
And
you.
it sounded like, I don't want to put words in Jeff's mouth, but it sounded like, from the way he was talking, that he was sort of rooting for the SEC to go undefeated again today to sort of
But
justify
again, that's
their 7 wins.
basketball.
Correct.
It's different.
In football, it's another story.
Yeah, football is blood sport, man.
So if Georgia basketball had made the tournament field and
I'd
their
still root against them.
their
No
success
offense,
had no
Georgia.
impact on Florida, you'd still root against them
I don't root for Georgia or FSU in anything.
in anything.
It's just the way it is, and it should be that way. And if that bothers you, that's TDB.
Kevin on the comments said
Kevin.
he could not wear the split jersey. Sounds like something his wife made him do. That's
Yeah,
possible.
maybe.
Absolutely not. FSU fans root for Duke and UNC, and it's extremely frowned upon.
Listen, first off, I'm going to try to help you guys out. There is no 100% on stuff like that.
Right.
Okay? Well, the fans I know, that's ignorant. I mean, some Florida fans like to root for the SEC and chant SEC when they leave the stadium. Some Florida fans like to see the SEC lose because I only care about Florida. I don't give a damn about Georgia. No offense. How can I have such a hatred for Georgia and then turn around and root for them? I don't get that. Like and I'll go another step. Like Alabama versus Georgia, I would root for Alabama, of course. I'd pull
Over
for
Georgia.
Alabama. I find
Because you hate Georgia.
yeah,
Right.
which I should. As
You
a
should.
Gator,
As a
you
Gator,
should.
yeah,
That's
right.
the way it is. You guys get that. If you don't get that, that's okay too. But that's the way it is for me, man. I mean, you're a rival. Why would I want my
Right. Why do
rival
you
to
root
do
for your
well?
rival?
I don't want my rival to do well in anything. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's the way it is.
That's
That's
the
how I
way
feel.
it is. Gator born, Gator bred.
Look,
Be a Gator when I'm dead. Sorry.
sorry. Look, I feel the same way about the Toledo Rockets. On a lower scale,
That's
I feel the
fine.
same way about Toledo.
Yeah.
When my team won in the NCAA or in the MAC tournament, knocked out
But
Toledo.
there's not as much
I was
passion.
so happy.
There's not as much passion, generally speaking. Again, there's no 100%, but there's not as much passion, generally speaking, for basketball as there is for football. So you have less of a problem with the basketball teams doing well. But I mean, I don't care about Kentucky. I mean, they're very nice folks. I enjoyed meeting a lot of those Kentucky people. I wish them well. One of my best friends is Kentucky Geoff.
Big
but-
motivation.
But I call him whenever Kentucky loses a significant game. and tease him.
Yeah, well,
That's what we do.
That's sort of you too.
Yeah.
That's a you thing.
Yeah.
You're very.
That's what fans do, though.
You take more joy in your friends' teams
I'm
losing
a bad winner and a
than-
worse loser.
than you do
Or
your
I'm a-
own team winning.
I'm a bad loser and a worse winner. One or the other, but I'm bad
think you're-
both ways.
I think you're worse. You take more joy in your rival's suffering than you do in your own joy. You know
I
what
only
mean?
root for LSU and anyone playing Alabama and Florida. Right, exactly.
There you go.
That's my guy.
That's Kevin.
Me and Kev are
Shout
brothers.
out to Kevs. All right, guys.
And by the way, you guys cheat.
You cheat. And by the way, if you're an LSU fan, you got the dumbest team money can buy.
They're good though.
They're good. They're athletic
I
as hell.
like that
They're
Draymond
huge.
kid. He's good.
And my God, what's his name? The bagman guy, number one. What's his name?
Oh, not Naz Reid. The Smart.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Watching him.
You didn't like his shorts.
He's got the dumbest shorts. They look like a diaper. He's got the worst looking shot I've ever seen in my life. It's
Yeah.
garbage. It's Rondo-esque. It is a trash
if
shot.
you paid him, how much did you pay Naz and Draymond?
Yeah, Naz got the Brinks truck. If you paid that guy money,
Nah, we love
That
you,
guy.
everybody.
we love you. Good.
You guys have a great weekend.
enjoy
man.
the tournament. Hope your
Yeah.
brackets are in better shape than ours right now. And one of us might be spinning the wheel.
Meatloaf, bah!
Cocoa Puff.
Meatloaf! You want some?
I'd love some meatloaf.